And we look forward to hearing more in the second half. So great stuff. Now I'd like to welcome someone to the Dodo stage, Jasmine Anne Cooray, who has been a regular performer with Dodo for some time now, and she's a really fine writer. Her last collection of poetry, I think, is out of print now, but there's a new one on the way. She is part of the organisation Spread the Word, which has just received the first BBC Performing Arts Fellowship for Poetry, so a round of applause, I think, for that. So, over to Jasmine to tell us more and to tell us some poetry.
Okay. I am grateful. It's true. It's true. The rumours are true. Okay. You're all like all the way over there. I kind of wish some of you would like come forward a little bit.
I have big hair.
Such an ethical decision.
I sacrifice.
Okay, so I'm trying to write this collection, and I'm kind of fascinated with loss and kind of things that get lost and things that kind of disappear. So this is a poem about things that get lost. I want to hear like some things that you always lose. What kind of things do you always lose?
Keys.
Keys? Anything else?
My mind.
Your mind?
Headphones.
Socks? Headphones?
Socks.
Socks? Anything else?
Oh,
Oyster
socks.
card.
Socks.
Oyster card. Mine is always umbrellas. I can't be trusted with umbrellas.
Oh yeah.
So I just buy cheap ones. Yeah, pens.
Oh, I nick those. Very nice.
So you might find you might hear some of your lost objects in this piece. It's called Lost Property. In some throbbing appendix of the universe, they land. Umbrellas with broken or perfect joints hang skittering on rails like bats. Mittens on string queue for scissor divorce. Socks sit in perpetual speed date. Sometimes there's a match, and the place shakes with applause as if two survivors of the same family-shredding war have found each other again. Phones ring out. A mating season cacophony, urgency increasing before battery death like the last breaths of stars. Keys, tired of rattling through our burglary nightmares, slump in splayed fans, scrape sullen tally on the walls if there are walls. Maybe just vague space like a dream of mist and moss, but nothing mourns. It's the way of things. Do they miss us? Their haphazard captors, or erupt in bitch and scoff, as employees do when the tyrant boss pulls her first sick day in years, only to clatter silent when the heads appear. You know, the ones we didn't screw on properly. Thank you. Yeah, so I've been writing about grief for like years and years. That's the way of grief, I guess. And so this is, I guess grief comes in many forms, and one of the less expected forms is laughter, or can be laughter, and that was unexpected for me, so this is a piece about that. It's called Parachute Laugh. We had just missed him. A train moving too quickly from the platform. The ward air hung heavy. My mother patted his tepid hand to keep from crumpling to the floor. I was out in the corridor, laughing. It spilled from me and billowed like white escaping boiling eggs, and though the other sleeping men leaking life could have woken, and the faces multiplying around the bed were split storm clouds flooding the hospital still, I laughed. Laughed fire like the spilled guts of a dragon. Laughed broken glass, laughed fine slicing fishing wire, laughed skeins of silk. A sheet, a parachute formed, hooked around my waist. Gasps buoyed me up, but like gusts of wind between peals slowed the dome's descent to the swiftly approaching ground of his still body. The closer we got, the laughter and I, the more clueless I was about how to land. Second and last sad poem, actually. Just check that I'm not promising a total lie. Yeah, no, it's not. Is it? No, it is. We don't really get snow much in London, for those of you who are not from London. But it's always very evocative when it happens and very pretty. So this is called Snow or Remembrance. It wasn't cued in by a calendar or a spoon against the glass rim, more he just landed on the table, fluttered between our mouths like a robin. We shooed him out before he pecked at our tear ducts, and outside snow had begun to fall. In the morning it will coat the roofs and the big shared garden where footballs sulk in frost toupees and white piping runs along washing lines. Children will tear through its blinding carpet, kick it to powdery spray, hold their mouths open to the sky to catch new flakes, then build gloves sodden, ice bales rolled to a base, torso, head. We have no ritual like this to raise our father to standing. We resist the pain of the thaw. Braced against the cold, we scuff around in this thing that from time to time comes down and covers everything. An echoing world that chills the bone, a sensation still too cold for the tongue. Okay, where is it? Okay, love poem. Yay, love poem. Yeah, it's hard being vulnerable, isn't it, in life? So this is unusual for me because usually I write poems after the thing is done and like I've started to hate myself. But this is like while it's happening. Wow, while it's happening, love poem. But I guess it's about the vulnerability of allowing yourself to trust someone. And it's called I Am Not Going Anywhere, I Promise. I'm not going anywhere, I promise. You tell me, your arms around me like fleece, your eyes two cornflower pools. I have done my best to harden against all the love that came knocking, yet now here you are, surrendering like a stranger, approaching the house of a ragged old woman with a rifle and a German shepherd, both hands open above your head. You know she could let rip, make dog food of you, but only see her skinny frame, her filthy nightdress in the cold March light, eyes still soft in the centre. You stand steady in your jeans and brushed cotton shirts stretched across shoulders broad enough to carry wood for the whole story of the night. As I fill with dread of times to come, maybe our flat deserted, I'm sorry on a paper bag, maybe a hair on your jacket too long to belong to either of us, maybe a red gingham tablecloth swept to a crash of crockery, maybe the back of your head becoming smaller. You remain, still at the gate. The sky is darkening, and now you have put your collar up, and now I notice I am crying, but your eyes have not moved from around me, shivering like a beaten dog, your hands wide-spanned and gentle as the wings of a heron. So I'll try and turn the volume down on what came before you. And in my quiet way, like a small fire burning in an attic in a ghost town, I will let myself believe you.
Well, that was Jasmine Anne Cooray spreading the love, and I think we can all do with some more of that, so more applause. Thank you very much. We're going to take a break for 20 minutes, and if you haven't had a chance to buy a ticket yet, just come forward and do refresh yourself. We'll be back with the same lineup with hopefully different work in the same. That's the point of it, really. In the second half. Yeah.
Have you ever had that? The same one.
Possibly. Oh, there are books for sale as well.